I drive around a lot, going through one state and another and another. And as I drive, if I'm not listening to the radio or a book on tape, I get a lot of time to think. And when I think, my mind goes all kinds of places. I think about my family, I think about my dreams, I think about anything that really comes to mind. But sometimes in the silence of the car, I also question things. I question my beliefs. I get to spend time with myself and really ponder about what it is I believe. And maybe that's partially because people ask me what I believe. As a pastor, that happens often. And people want to know why I believe what I believe. And Thomas, one of the few people we kind of give attributes of being a regular guy, but we paint him in such a negative light, right? We call him the doubting Thomas, because after the resurrection, he wants to touch Jesus' hand and he wants to touch Jesus' side because he's not 100% sure whether or not he can really handle Jesus being the guy who rose from the dead. And so we call him doubting Thomas. But what he says to Jesus is, "What are you talking about? You say you're going to it, but where are you going? How do we get there? Give us an address or something, because I just don't get it, Jesus." And Jesus lays something really heavy on Thomas. He says, "I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." And Thomas has to think about that. We don't get any more dialogue. And I don't think Jesus just cut the brother off, right? Like, he's not trying to shut him off. He's really trying to give him something insightful. But, he just told them he's going to this place, and Thomas is asking for the address, and this is what Jesus gives to him, right? And so he has to think about that for a little bit. And then Jesus continues to say, you've seen the Father. You know what I'm talking about. Because you've seen me, you've seen the Father. Or you know where I'm going. And Philip says, "Jesus, really? Just show us a tangible representation of the Father. Let us see God." Right? Let us have this real visual experience with God, because if we can just straight up see God, we won't doubt anymore. Because right now, Jesus, you're saying this stuff, but we're kind of struggling. And Jesus says, "You have seen him because you've seen me. I am in my Father is in me." Do you not understand these things? And Philip is kind of scratching his head, and Jesus says, "Here's the deal. If you don't get what I'm saying, if you can't just trust me based on what I'm saying to you, trust me on what you've seen. Trust me because of the works I've done, of the miracles that you've experienced, that you've seen. Trust me because you have this tangible evidence. I know you may not get it all, but trust me." But I love the raw honesty of the disciples. Jesus, we don't really know how to get there. And Jesus, really? If we could just have a visual experience with God the Father, we'd be straight. We'd be set. No worries, no more questions, no more. We'd be good. So why is it that we think we have to have such an ironclad system without any room for doubt when it comes to our faith? Why do we give so much pushback to a person who is sincerely trying to find truth? Is there room in our faith for the mystical and the mysteries of it all? Is there a place in our faith where it can be okay not to always have the right answer? If we really do want to belong to Jesus, or at least be on the right path, I think we have to figure out what it means to do the things of Jesus. What does it mean for you to do the things that Jesus did? Well, thanks for traveling with me for a little bit. Hope you have a great day. And I hope you have some things you can wrestle with and think about as God and others walk this journey with you as you're part of Lumen. So God bless.